Alrighty. Welcome to the newest edition in the Q&A live stream series, where I practice and then you interrupt my practice with delicious questions. Yes. So, time to get started practicing while the people are here yet. Down, yada yada. Okay. So what we have here is a very nice 4/4. Easy peasy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 measures. And let's see. In these 8 measures, we are modulating. We are modulating a lot. And that's going to be fun and difficult, and yay. For transparency's sake, I did practice this beforehand on my lunch break, but not quite enough as I would like to have practiced. So, we're going to do this. It's going to happen, yeah. As my starting pitch, and we're just going to give this a try. I am reading this John right here, and then I'll be moving to the bottom, and we're just going to try to get this. So why am I doing this? Sight reading pays money. Very rarely does music stay in one key, outside of, I mean, even in contemporary music, right? Like, people move keys a lot. It's part of the thing. And I made the terrible decision to have a carbonated beverage. That's green. So not only will it be burping, but you'll be seeing me drink from an ethereal, non-existent mug. Mi, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti, do, re, mi, re, do, so, fa, mi, ti, do, re, mi, la, ti, do, mi, re. Oof. All right. Difficult to practice sight reading and technique at the same time. And I have not warmed up yet, but we're not going to accept that level of flat. So that means posture, spine being erect, that means the tongue being forward. That means a little bit more enthusiasm in the chanteuse, le singing. Mi, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti, do, re, mi, re, do, so, fa, mi, ti, do, re, mi, la, ti, do, mi, re, mi, fa, mi. Immediately. Re, mi, fa. Yeah, so I need to I'm going to exaggerate the tongue forward. This happens whenever I do work. Whenever I go to work, I work manual labor, I work out the back. When the back gets tight, the tongue goes back. So a big part of technique is not just, doing it on your best day. It's being able to figure out when you're not doing it well. So I'm going to exaggerate the tongue forward. Mi, re, mi, fa, mi. So I gotta exaggerate it a little bit. Mi, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti, do, re, mi, re, do, so, fa, mi, ti, do, re, mi, la, ti, do, Mi, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti. Obviously, it sounds a little contrived. It sounds a little nasally because I'm forcing the tongue forward. And anytime you're forcing yourself to do something, it's going to sound a little weird. Like you're trying to do it because you are. But, you know, if you don't have time to do it properly and stretch your back, you're making sacrifices right then and there, right? So, fortunate as that is. And again, feel free to ask any questions, folks. Re, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti. Very nasally E. Not that bad on pitch, so I'm gonna do. Trying to loosen up the torso so my tongue isn't pulling back. Ooh, gotta move those hips. Ooh, boy. Dang, that's tight. That's tight. Do, e, o. That's a great exercise if you're having trouble with pitch and you know your back is tight and you know that as a result the tongue is going backwards. That's one to keep in your arsenal. Do, re, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti, do, re, mi. Losing track of the syllables. Do, ti, do, re, do, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, so, fa, ti, la, ti, do, so, fa, mi, re, do. Okay, this is gonna be rough, especially because I went lower in the top one. Do, ti, do, re, do, do, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, so, fa, ti, la, ti, do, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti, do, re, ti, do, re, fa, mi. Okay. I'm just gonna do it up. Do, ti, do, re, do, fa, mi, re, mi, fa. Re, mi, fa. That's not right. Fa, mi, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, ti, la, ti, do, so, fa, mi, re, do, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti, do, re, do, fa, mi, re, do. Whew, syllables. It's like this. It's like this. Focusing on technique, I'm focusing on modulating, I'm focusing on the syllables. This is the good stuff. This is how you want to practice. You want to practice to where you brutalize your mind. Brutalize it. How do I get more ease singing past F5? John, the best answer, because like that's a tricky area called the passaggio. And there's a lot of like kind of like guesses I could make. But that's such a tricky area of the voice that I just suggest go join the Discord, and you don't have to, if you don't feel comfortable sharing your recording publicly in the Discord, direct message me a recording and I will give you direct feedback. There could be a lot of things that are happening. And I want to give you the right answer that fits you, because that is, yeah, that's a notoriously tricky part of the voice. So the Discord, I believe, is in the description. If it's not, let me know and I'll link it into the chat. Yeah, that's something you're going to want specific help for. Because I could give you a general answer like vowels and breath, which would be true, but how do you want to work on that? And how should you work on that? That's going to be particular to you. So, sorry to make you go the extra step, but I want you to get the right one when it comes to the passaggio. That's a tricky part of the voice. Do, ti, do, re, do, fa, mi, mi, re, mi, fa. Mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, ti, la, ti, a, ti, do, so, fa, mi, re, do, fa, 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 mi, fa, mi, fa, fa, mi, fa, mi, re, do. It's tough. So, do, ti, do, re. Let's get the metronome on. Do, ti, do, re, do, fa, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, ti, la, ti, do, fa, mi, re, do, fa, mi, re, do. I messed up again. Let's see. Do, ti, do, re, do, fa, fa, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, la, ti, do, so, fa, mi, re, do, do, fa, mi, re, do. Okay. All right. Do, re, do, re, do, fa, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, re, do. Fa, mi, re, mi, fa, so. There we go. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti, do, do, re, mi, re, do, so, fa, mi, ti, do, re, mi. Hard for. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti, do, re, mi, re, do, so, fa, mi, so, fa, mi, re, mi, la, ti, do. All right, I think I screwed up on this one, actually. I went too fast somewhere. All right, I think that's good. Do, ti, do, re, do, fa, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, la, ti, do, so, fa, mi, re, do, fa, mi, re, do. Not bad on the pitch. Could be better, but that's not bad, considering I'm sight reading. Okay. Let's fix the first one. Mi, re, mi, fa, mi, la, ti, do, re, mi, re, do, so, la, ti, do, so, ti, do, re, mi, la, ti, do, fa, mi, re, ti, do. Do, re, mi, re, do, so, la, ti, do, so, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, ti, do, fa, mi, re, ti, do. All right. Ooh. That is one modulation exercise down. That is rough. Rough stuff. Ah, thank you, Roger. Yeah, vibrato just happens when you tilt. When you tilt the cartilage response, there's two tilts, right? There's the belt tilt and there's the classical tilt, for lack of better terms, right? I should really know. I should learn the names of the cartilage. I think like one's the cricothyroid. But regardless, when you tilt in a classical tilt, the tilt is just unstable inherently, and that's what leads to vibrato. So, yeah. If you can tilt and you don't have a lot of tension, like if you have tension, you can get a very wide vibrato, or you can get a very like goat-like bleat, meh, where it's like that. So vibrato is easier to introduce when you know how to tilt and you can isolate that experience. Muscle. Right. So that's how that's done. And I want to make sure the person I invited to the Discord actually is on the Discord. You can send it, yeah. A link, video or audio recording is better. All right. As much as I love to practice the priority. Oh, that's why I'm chugging. All right, I gotta stop live streaming here. There we go. I was like wondering why I'm chugging. Hold on. It's not lost. It's not lost. It's going to be posted someday. Okay. Yeah. Definitely taking questions at the same time. I will be honest if I think yours is a particular question. In the case of John Lon, I think that's a very particular question that needs a direct and personalized answer. Love giving those. Love it. Like, it's why I'm here. It's why I exist, to help people. You know, and it's great when folks have the money to pay, but you know, they don't, that's fine too. So I don't do this because it's a chore. So reach out, folks. Reach out. Boy. Now, this is rough. I think what I might do is I might conserve my energy. Sight reading is a lot on the brain for me. I didn't have a K through 12 music education. In fact, I got my college degree, and when I got to college, I couldn't read music. So this is not easy for me, but I'm just like energy wise, for the sake of my mind, I might review the next exercise in here at work, which leaves me to, I think, just stretching. So one of the reasons why the pitch was very precarious when I would add anything resembling power. So one of the ways to create a more accurate pitch is to lighten up your voice, right? But when you do so, you want to be able to add weight. You want to be able to add color and depth. And when you lighten excessively, you'll get a breathy tone. So why did I have to do that? Let's ask the question, why did I have to go light here? Look at my posture. That is my posture right now. That is how tight my back is. It's a real problem. And I didn't stretch my back in the morning. I was just hungry for breakfast. Again, manual labor. So is there something I can do about it? Absolutely. I'm going to stretch. And I think it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird to look at. But I'm going to have to stretch. Nope, that's not going to work. All right. How am I going to stretch my back? Because that's the best one to do it, is where I'm bent over, like this. If I could actually have my feet, like, boom, back in the chair. Ooh. So that would be the best way to do it, is to just get over like this. Am I going to be visible? Yes. I'm going to put some text up so people know what I'm doing, because it looks bizarre otherwise. Come on. Come Come on, OBS. All right. There we go. I'm going to time this, I think. Ugh. And I want, for anybody who's still going to be patient through this, I want to prove my point to you that I will be able to have a lot more vocal power once the back is all nice and loose. And it's not just the back, my quads. The legs have very strong muscles in them. If the quads, if the back of your legs are tight, it will also pull you down. The only way around this is a nice deep stretch. And I'm using the inhales. Oh, God. That's a thing. Woo! I'm using the inhales to also help expand the back. You can even hear in my speaking voice immediately the difference, right? That's important as my hair goes fakakta. And like, yeah, just in my speaking voice already, I have a lot more depth of sound. I feel a lot more comfortable. You can see I'm taller in the chair. That was like a 5-minute stretch, right? So I really don't have an excuse. I need to be doing those things. And I might, unless folks end up having some questions, I might end early to do that. But not yet. Not quite yet. Send the vid. Okay. So, Johnlon, Discord has a file size limit. The way to go around that is just post it unlisted on YouTube and then send the link. You can do it with any YouTube channel. If you go to the YouTube app, just hit upload video. It'll automatically make it unlisted. You don't even have to title the video. It'll do it for you, and just upload that and then send me the link. Sorry about that. I know eventually I will get enough monies to upgrade the Discord to where we can all share files up to 100 megabytes. But for now, that's a limitation, unfortunately. And when a video is unlisted, no one will find it unless you give out the link. So you don't have to worry about anyone finding it. If you need help with that, John, just let me know. Since I started working on breath support, my vibrato feels... Hold on, let me go to this. My voice feels resting when I do it, as if it frees my voice. I don't know how to explain it, honestly, thanks to you. Wow, man, I'm glad. That's great. Hope you don't mind if I make that into content. Let me get back into... Sure, I'm clear of all video files. I am. I'm glad that you're experiencing less vocal tension. That's always, it's always like, I find vocal tension to be one of the most frustrating things when we're learning to sing. I described it once as to a pianist as like, imagine your hand is tied down by rubber bands as you try to reach for every single note on the piano. It's awful. It doesn't feel good. And it's incredibly frustrating. I think tension is the worst. I had so much of it that I had to go to a specialist. I had to go to an Alexander Technique specialist. And so when it comes to singing and dealing with that, like, I feel like that's my strong point when I teach, is dealing with tension. Excuse me, carbonated beverages. But yeah, I have a lot of stretches that I do to deal with tension. So I'm glad you're experiencing the benefits of that. And I'm gonna do this. I need to upload my Reacts. I think I'm definitely gonna do I'm definitely gonna do Reacts on Tuesday. Feel like people seem to enjoy it even if I am tired. I think that's the main concern I always have. Is my fatigue, is I want to be excited about singing, but yeah. CG, I appreciate you, man. Hi, one question. Is a D2 low note for a male voice? Yes, I would say generally speaking, because C2 is the low C. Is it? Yeah, C4. That's C3. Yeah. Yeah, so low C, I'm pretty sure is C2. Or is it C1? I don't know. D2 is low. It's a good note to have. I think at that point the question becomes what is the quality? What does it sound like? Because there's some people who get to that part of their range and they just but they can make sound. And it's hard to explain because the microphones are really bad at picking up like lower frequencies unless they're geared towards it, but even then like playback devices like headphones and stuff like that never really truly carry some of the lows that real basses can have. Like, so like it's not just your ability to hit the note. I'm going to turn this into content. I hope you don't mind, because this I think it's interesting because when we're talking about range, we also want to talk about like what happens in the range, right? Like what does it sound like? All right, so this is D2 a really low note for the male voice? D2 can be low, but like it depends. Like this is where vocal range and voice classification get really kind of messy, and I think it's always better to just talk about voices and what happens specifically when you're on a certain part of your range. So D2 is low, but it's also like how are you hitting that note? Is that note is it like really powerful? Is there incredible amounts of resonance? If so, you might be a bass baritone, you might be a bass, especially if you can go even lower than that and have like a lot of power. But yeah, like I think vocal power and timbre are way often not discussed when people discuss their range. And it's kind of essential and important, right? Because like you want to sound good when you're low in that basement. So yeah, it's low, but it also depends on how you sound. There we go. Okay. Shane. Alrighty. I don't know how you hold tone. My upper limit cracks like I am 13 years old trying to talk, scream and growl. Got that down. Not great when sitting though. Even more impressive that you can hold it sitting. Ever since you were on Mixer, I was impressed with that. Hey, Shane, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't realize it was you. Shane, welcome. I missed you, dude. I miss the old Mixer fam, dude. It is great to see you. Hey, man, welcome. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna turn this into content, but like, dude, it's great to see you here. I'd love to catch up. I don't know how you hold tone. My upper limit cracks like I'm 13 when trying to talk. Scream and growl, got that down. Not great when sitting though, even more impressive. To double the heavy vox in the mid-range singing with some actual skilled range. This is kind of involved. I know you're in the military. Let me actually talk to you before I make this into content. I know you're in the military. Do you still do like basic training stuff? Like where you're doing a lot of compressive torso exercises and like pull-ups and stuff like that? Because that can really, really hamper your abilities to have control as you go up. In fact, I would say, like, so if you're doing any of that stuff, I'm going to have to give you some stretches that you're going to have to do in addition to your basic training stuff. And to me, the fact that you can't do it when you're sitting, to me screams torso tension. You know, if you want to send a video, upload it unlisted to YouTube, and then send it to me over Discord or Twitter or whatever. Discord's easiest for me, but you know, it's you, so whatever, man. I think this sounds like torso tension, specifically a posture issue. I can give you some generic stretches, but I'd really like to see how you sing so that I can prescribe like very deliberate stretching, because I think that's your problem. And now to make this into content. Spoosh content. I didn't upload the last ones to move the files. Oh, I just got DMCA'd. Sings Looney Tunes, gets DMCA'd. This VOD will no longer be available, folks. The cruel mistress that is the DMCA. Do at the gym. All right. So the question is, hitting higher notes, not cracking, and going into the mid-range. Okay, so in answering this question, I have an unfair advantage. I know this person is serving their time in the military. Thank you for doing that. And when we do basic training with like a lot of the compressive torso stuff, when we're working our lats with pull-ups, what we're really doing is we're especially if we're not doing those exercises with an incredibly full range of motion, but especially for powerlifting too, like you're just going to compress your torso, and that's going to limit your ability to have great breath control. And so this particular individual is having trouble going into their top, and even past the mid-range, describing themselves as a prepubescent or during pubescent person. This is very, very common and indicative of torso tension. You're going to have to stretch. The first video on my TikTok has that, but I will also give you specifically some stretches for you, Shane. Boom! Content. Sploosh! Content. Blam! I need like a little rainbow for every time I finish recording. Like a bring! Like a little, like, you know, a little sparkle. Or maybe there's an explosion, like content! That'd be great. Let's see. So even in opera, voice classification gets squirrely. Just a heads up. And I'll explain. I'll give you a little bit more with that. Open up the range. Oh yeah, man. Stretching is a big deal. Well, it's like torso. Being able to have a relaxed posture is a big deal. It's one of the reasons why my job is so darn difficult to do, and then also sing on top of content. So let's see. I see why you don't like using voice classification. My lowest chest note is F2. My highest belt is F#4. That's typically a baritone. I keep getting comments that my voice sounds light. Yeah. I had a friend of mine who. Oh, let me touch on this. This is good. All right. So we have commentary about voice classification. My favorite topic to trash. Love trash talking voice classification. So I'm going to take every opportunity to do it. Okay, so this individual is able to sing an F2 and then go all the way to F#4, and the voice is considered light. And this comment from this person is that they are realizing that voice classification is garbage. High five, Roger, because it is. Even in classical music, where there is some utility to voice classification. From the point of view of the singer and the teacher, voice classification has 0 to no utility unless you're preparing repertoire to audition in classical things, because that's what the system was designed for. For any other genre, it doesn't matter. There's so many things there's so many variables with the voice that trying to superimpose a classification, it's like a square peg round hole situation. Don't try to figure out your voice classification, try to figure out your voice. Boom! Content. Spew, pew, 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 pew. Growing up in choir, directors would often confuse me for a tenor and switch between first and second tenor. That's common, Roger. And opera doesn't get much better. If I'm being real with you, like I said before in one of my other videos, I'm considered a light lyric tenor. So what does that mean? Well, does that mean I can sing Rossini? No, it doesn't mean I can sing Rossini. But light lyric tenors sing Rossini, yeah, but not all can comfortably do it because I can't comfortably do it. There are too many high notes. I can do the vocal agility, but I can't get to the super high notes, right? So that immediately puts me out of the running for one of the most common light lyric repertoire things is Rossini. I can't do it. I can do Mozart. I can hang out in these awkward ranges. Like right here, this is called the passaggio. I can hang out there. Apparently a lot of people have trouble doing that. And I'm like, really? Because I just hang there. Like, I haven't stretched enough to be able to do a literal aria, but oh, dang. I forgot the power. El nostro tesoro, ristoro, al cor porgerà. And that one's also for you, Shane. When I went up there, I don't know if you noticed that my torso kind of like we're right, and so that kind of matters every time we go up. So tessitura is, I guess, what I'm trying to say, Roger. My tessitura is very high. My ability to hang out comfortably in a higher register is what classifies me technically as a light lyric tenor. I can hang out in very high areas for very long periods of time. That is not always common. And so that's tessitura. And so that really more or less defines what your voice type is. I've met, in fact, there was a bass baritone who used to give talks at Temple University by the name of Eric Owens. Dude's a total bamf. He's a bass baritone that can hit B flats. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. He just opens his mouth and hits a B flat 4. Like it's nothing. And it's way powerful. It's crazy to listen to. It's like a freak of nature thing to listen to. It's really wild. But he can't hang out there. And so that's why he's a bass baritone and not a tenor. And also his timbre is nutty, rich on the low end. So yeah, you could easily be a tenor. F sharp 4 is hard. There's another person in the Discord by the name of Lemon Tea who's having the same issue. That's called the passaggio in classical music, the primo passaggio. It took me, there's a video literally of Pavarotti talking about this, and he hits the note and he hits it like this. Oops, sorry. And then he hits it again like this. And he says just that takes 10 years. And he's not kidding. Comfort in that area, to be able to live up there and have dynamic control and being able to change the color according to your whim, that takes a long time. It's a very tricky area of the voice. Tenors have the most problems with it, particularly if they're trying to sing in a classical way or an operatic way, because they're trying to carry a lot of power up there. And it's not an area of the voice that likes that. But many people, many voices have a hard time with the passaggio. It's a transition to where you get to the top. You kind of have to do something a little different. I'm very comfortable with my mid-range and high range, but when I hate singing low. So that would be indicative of a tenor voice. But that you know that for yourself is way better, right? Like I don't like singing in the low. That's a lot more utility, I think, there, and you know where you're having issues. Yeah. Sullivan King. I don't know Sullivan King. Shane, are you in the Discord, by the way? Link to that in the description, pretty sure. You should join the Discord and make React recommendations. Oh, this is cool. I didn't know, like, this is cool. People are doing like literal duets with acapella stuff. I could totally do that on my TikTok. That would actually be really fun, really good exercise for me. I'm gonna kill my desktop audio and I'll give this a listen, John. Okay, John, I'm not sure if you're still with us, but let me record this for you. Sending a recording on the Discord for you to react to when you're free. I hate singing low, but I'm able to. I just can't sing J4 without pushing it. Maybe I just need training. It would be awesome if you could join the Discord, Shane, but I know if you're not on Discord a lot, then it's not worth it. But I think we follow each other. Try DMing me on Twitter. Like I'll do that for you just because, you know, like we're buds. We've known each other for a bit. So if you want to send me stuff on Twitter, and then I'll queue it up in the React for the Discord, so you don't have to go out of your way to use a platform that you don't use. But definitely the Discord makes my life easier. So I would like it or appreciate it if you could do it there. If I'm sending me a recording. Okay, good. So John, in this recording, there's a lot of falsetto. Well, so let me make sure I'm getting this right. Falsetto is one of those tricky things. It's your tone is wonderful, by the way. I just want to give you props there. I think the Discord link is in the description. If not, let me just throw it up there. John, so I just want to real quick, like, you know, I think people don't give enough credit when we talk about singing. Everyone's always ready to be nasty to one another. So I want to give credit where it's due. I think you have a really beautiful sound. And I love what you're trying to do. I love that you're trying to develop your falsetto. Because I think it's a wonderful sound that you're working with. So that's good. And I just want to give props there. So what I would do, so there's two things here. When we go high, if the tongue is not extremely forward and wide, it's very difficult to go high successfully. A lot of people don't like that sound, and so they try to fix that sound with their tongue going backwards, but don't do that. So my falsetto is not gentle, so I'm gonna go here. All right, so I'm on an eval. My tongue is very forward and wide. But if I want to round that off, I can do what SZA does. And this is very common in R&B. Their tongues are really forward and wide, but then they'll like round out their mouth and dome their soft palate. So this is me if I were doing it just my way. Because I like bright. It cuts over orchestras. But if I'm doing it like SZA and I'm trying to round off a phrase, right? Now that's how we can address like if you want to put your tongue forward and you don't like the way it sounds, learn to control your soft palate. To do that, just sustain a note, plug your nose and don't change your tongue, and go from not trying to sing into your nose into singing into your nose. And when you hear this buzzy sound, your soft palate is down. But when you're not holding your nose, right? I can do all these things with my soft palate to kind of like experiment and play with it. When it's higher, when it's lower, there's a full range of motion there to exercise color. How do you get a more chesty? Okay, now this is hard. If you want a chesty mix up there, I would start doing so on C4, middle C, and maybe even D4, I would start doing whimper exercises. I'm actually harmonizing. You can even whimper up to the F or the F sharp. So why am I whimpering? That gives us classical tilt. That's not going to be a belt. It gives us a tilt. And when we tilt, we stretch out the folds, allowing us to go higher with more power. You're still going to want to work on your tongue. So then there's two exercises for you. This is the exercise I was going to give you initially. Sing like that. Literally go and do the duets. You don't have to post them, but like do what you were doing. And what that'll do is it'll put your tongue forward and it'll show you when you have a tight tongue versus when you don't. When you have a loose tongue, it'll just vibrate. When you have a tight tongue, a lot of air is going to go through it. You can't move what is tight, right? So moving your tongue in that way is going to help you with your tongue tension, which is a big, big part. You're going to need that tongue forward. You're going to need it loose. That's a big part of being able to sing up high with any mix. Then the next thing is that whimpering sound gets us to kind of learn the tilt. And then eventually you want to be able to do this. And just, I would advise you practice all that on an NG. Again, the NG sound, sing, right? That sound, that's going to help you keep your tongue forward. So that's how you're going to do that. I would encourage you to not like when you do that Coldplay stuff and you do that falsetto, it sounds really wonderful. Don't lose that, right? Go ahead and keep practicing that because it's wonderful. You sound wonderful when you do it. But yeah, that whimper stuff will help you as well. Just don't pick songs that are that high when you're trying to learn to belt. It's hard. When you're trying to learn to sing full voice, each note is like, each note above middle C, or even for some people, the B below middle C. Every note there is just kind of like progressively like, right? Like I was just telling Roger, F sharp took me a long time to really get a hold of. So be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and just practice a little bit every day. And do those exercises. I hope that helps. And if you get stuck, send me another recording. Don't be afraid to reach out. That's what I'm here for. You mind me sending you some recording, Roger? No, not at all. Send away. Send as many as you want. Please, ideally, I want people posting in the Discord because I want it to be an active Discord. For right now, though, if you all need to DM me because you're a little too shy or embarrassed and all that stuff, I get that. I will eventually not allow that. But right now it's open because I get it. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm super busy when I'm just not, like I have the time. Send it over my way. Okay. Let me show the Discord link there. I hope that helps. I know that wasn't really a succinct answer, John Lund. I think it's the right one. Let's see. Copy. Would I still be considered a tenor? I would say so, but like, it depends. Like, then we're getting into what kind of tenor, because there are different kinds of tenors. I wouldn't worry about it, John, honestly, because I think it's going to cause more frustration. Like, you know, what's way more impressive than saying I'm a tenor? What's impressive to me is like on this note, and I have this specific problem, like on F sharp 4 or 5. It was F sharp 4, by the way, that not 5. F sharp 4 was causing you some issues, and up. That is impressive to me. That shows musical diligence. And I think any voice teacher would be much more impressive with that. You're really specific about what your problem is. And that's so much better and more impressive than I'm a tenor struggling with high notes, because most tenors struggle with high notes. You gave a lot more specific stuff, so please don't get voice classification started in your head. It's a trap. I promise you it's a trap. So stick with being very specific as you were, right? Know the notes that you're having trouble with. Know, like record it and try it and stuff. It's way more beneficial by like a lot. I can't even tell you the amount of anxiety that voice classifications causes in singers. It's a freaking trap. All right. I'm going to turn that one into content, and then I'm going to peace. I'm going to stretch before work. I need it. My voice is like not doing what I want it to do because my back is so tight. All right. Oh, and John, just one last thing with that. It's just going to take a long time. I promise you. Like this took me. I was in college, and this only like in the last few years, last like 4 years, was comfortable. I'll see if I can do it now with my back tight, but try to call like that, holding that for the like whatever the 8 measures that Mozart wants me to hold it for. That took a long time. Try to call. I'm clipping the microphone like crazy, but that's opera for you. I wish my double compressor setup didn't break. My compressor literally broke. But oh well. It wasn't cheap either, bastards. Anyway. Okay, this is about someone who is having trouble. This is a male singer having trouble with F sharp 4 and up. Very common. Very, very, very common. And wants a chestier mix. The unfortunate answer about this is it's going to take a long time. Even Pavarotti, the greatest opera singer of all time, even if you hate opera, okay, he demonstrated 2 different ways to sing F sharp, and it was like, okay, we'll see the difference there. Doing the second way takes 10 years. So this is going to take a long time, but let's get into the how. Whimpering. What does whimpering do? It encourages you to tilt your cartilage. This is not belting. This is more of a classical thing. I don't know how to teach belt, but that will get you power if you whimper like that and then go down. And whimper like that and then go down. Yes, there is one built into OBS. But it doesn't stop my RC. It doesn't stop the audio interfaces from clipping. Right? Like it doesn't stop the RC 505 from clipping. I had a RC 505 has compression in it. But I don't like the sound of it when it's excessive. It's like really, really aggressive. It's not a good compressor. So like when I sing opera, it just kind of like really crunches it. So I used a double compressor setup. I used the RC505 to basically even everything out, and then I had the external compressor to like crunch the really, really big ones, so I'd avoid double peaking. So a double compressor setup is really common in heavy vocals, and metal vocals and stuff like that. And I had it, but then I think I put in the wrong power cable, and I just blew it up by putting too much voltage through it. I also like I keep my stuff on all the time, so that's probably also another reason. Yeah, there's totally built-in ones. Hey, late chips. I am ending the stream very shortly, late chips, but if you have something, shoot it within the next 2 minutes, and I'll answer it. Maybe Shane. I don't know enough about like how to toy with compression to get exactly what I want. Like I'm not as good at the audio stuff as like I want to be. I just kind of know enough to get by. And then try to rely on my musicianship for the rest of it. So yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Tuesday, I'm going to record like a gajillion reacts and just cue that stuff up. It's going to be great. This YouTube channel has grown so much, and I appreciate all of you for the support because it's nuts. It's really wild to see 1 million impressions on my YouTube channel. Like, I never thought I would break into 1 million anything. That's such a crazy number to like. It doesn't make sense yet. That's like $10,000 in Facebook marketing in 1 month. So that's how crazy it is. So yeah. All right, folks. I'm gonna end it here. And peace out. I need to